And just come to your seated position. Mm. And before we begin, maybe we can just kind of brush off the day. So you can just do some dry brushing with your hand to one opposite arm. You know, the energy field is a real thing. Obviously, you know that. You practice yoga. But a lot of people who practice yoga, they don't know that. It's very physical, right? Doing the other arm. And things do stick to the body, right? And then stretch out your legs, and then you can brush from the roots of the thighs down. Dry brushing is the same as when we take a bath or go for a dip in the pool or in the sea or in the lake. How wonderful it feels to just release. And you just have to consider, what is that feeling? Like, why does it feel so good to have water wash us, right? Good. And then from the belly downwards as well, belly towards the thighs, and then towards the low back. So wherever you can reach, higher, as high up as you can reach on your back, and then just brush downwards towards the buttocks. And then maybe you can give a little extra love to the sacrum, the lower backbone, by rubbing it and creating a little bit of heat there. Good. Yes. And then let's come to a seated position, and then anything you need to do for the face, a little caressing of the face, very light tapping of the center of the forehead and then out to the sides where the temples are, and then maybe even tracing all along the outline of the face to the tip of the chin. And then from the lower eye bone across the tops of the cheeks to the sides. Good. And then just rest your fingertips at the eyes. Eyes are closed, and just a light feeling of the fingers there. Good. And then keeping the eyes closed, let's have the hands now relax onto the lap. And just see how the body naturally wants the arms to fall, how the body naturally wants the hands to be arranged, either in a specific mudra or just in a very natural posture for the fingers. And take the chin slightly downwards, softening the lower jaw. Swallow once through the throat, or drink a sip of water to create relaxation along the throat muscles. And just start to feel your energy in this moment. There are many things that may happen to us, right? The life events that are uncomfortable or painful, body events that are uncomfortable or painful, or mental events that are uncomfortable or painful. But if we truly, truly, truly practice yoga in a way that connects us to who we are, the inner divinity, the inner consciousness, the one who guides our life force, then we can gain some clarity, wisdom, strength, and a very light tinge of detachment from the things that cause suffering. And when we have that very light separation of being able to see things as they are, we give them room to heal, to remedy. So we're talking today about pain in our back, how to approach that. Shall we dig into it? Go right to the center, the heart of it, and will it, force it to change? It will just react against us. So let's take a little bit of space from this region and start to observe it from the navel. From space, expanding and contracting in the belly, as the navel expands, there's a sense of openness in the joints of the lower body. They're given room to just be as they are, what they are. And as we exhale, we bring the navel towards the back spine and provide support. So feeling that drawing in of the abdomen muscles and how that strengthens the column of the spine, our Merudanda, the universal mountain, spiritual mountain known as our spinal cord. So starting to build that adhara. Adhara is base, support. Mula adhara. As we start to lengthen our exhalations, breathing out, breathing out, breathing out. Feel that firmness from the belly, supporting the column of the spine, and then maybe even draw up the firmness from the base, the pelvic floor. And then release and create spaciousness around the hip joint, sacroiliac joint, and lower spinal joints. Emotionally, generally, as we feel unsupported, the lower back will start to share this story with us. Do I have the care and support that I need from myself, from others? What can I do to create spaciousness, yet a firm solidity around me? Good. Just continuing in this practice, exhaling longer than the inhale, and then connecting that exhale with the firming of the belly and the firming of the pelvic floor, and then really relaxing on the inhale. As you do this, now bring your palms together in Anjali Mudra at the heart center. Coming into prayer, a prayer for yourself. May I be healed, may I be healthy, may I be whole. May this extend to all aspects of who I am. Today I'll chant a peace mantra that exhibits the deep desire that all beings be free of suffering, all beings be free of disease, all beings exist in that which is good and auspicious for them. Om. Sarve bhavantu sukhinah, sarve santu niramaya, Sarve bhadrani pashyantu ma kaschid dukkha bhag bhavet. Om Shanti 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 Hari Om Tat Sat. As you exhale, gently take the hands down. With your next inhalation, you'll blink the eyes open. Good. As you start to open the eyes, getting oriented to your space, sounds, tastes, right? Everything according to your senses, including within and into the practice. With your next exhalation, you'll cross your left ankle over your right in Sukhasana. And then gently begin to walk the hands forward, right? So if you have a block, this is excellent because what the block does, it creates a stopping point. Usually what we'll do if we have the flexibility or openness, we might even go beyond our comfort point and force the head towards the ground. But if you have a block and you lay your forearms on the block, you find that it gives you the proper support to feel that which is more subtle. When I was researching the SI joint today, it was like, targeting and really like a needle point going after the joint again and again, all these movements, and seemed very like an aggressive treatment. And the SI joint is one, the sacroiliac joint in the lower back spine is one that needs more delicacy. It actually needs sweetness and gentleness. So as you breathe in and out, start to feel the 360-degree circumference of your belly, sides of the ribs, and the lower back expanding and contracting. And we can continue that longer exhalation with the drawing up of the bottom two bandhas in a gentle way, just to signal to the lower back that it has the support that it needs. And then see if it's possible maybe to slide the block or bolster or blanket forward a little bit more in front of you. And that will create more length along the side body as you press the sitting bones down. We're not going down to the ground. We're just lengthening out of the pelvis. So there shouldn't be any intensified sensation. Very gentle. It's like following subtle, soft winds. Good. And then as you breathe in, press into your forearms and place your hands on your block or on the ground, and then rise back up, right? Use your hands on the ground to support the body, to bring the head, neck, and trunk back in the same line of energy. And then lean back, again, with your hands supporting behind you, uncross the legs, and then cross the right shin or ankle in front of the left, back in Sukhasana. Sukha, place of joy, ease, happiness, right? And then as you exhale, again, you don't come to your maximum, whether it's 2 blocks high or 3 blocks high, whatever height that you need. We're not going in, I was going to say, for the kill. That's really what some people do. They go in, right to the center point. And what it does is it just causes more destruction than healing. So finding that soft swirling energy in the hip joint and in the lower back joint, rather than something that's pounding or pulsing or that makes your mind clench or tense. The practice, if it's done well, that means with awareness, can feel like water or blowing wind. And if the softness is there and you'd like to continue a deeper exploration, then just slide your either forearms forward on the ground or the block forward on the ground, bolster forward on the ground. And if you start to feel the hips tense, right, that's a moment that you've gone a little bit too far. So rising back up. Very nice. And then create that Mooladhara, the pelvic floor support, the lower belly support as you breathe out, breathe out, breathe out, breathe out. And then really feel the 360-degree expansion of the belly, abdomen area, ribs, and back spine as you breathe in. Now, we're lucky that we all have a strong awareness practice, right? Because most people would get bored here. It's not so interesting as very strong sensation. But if our awareness and meditation can teach us anything, it's in the realm of the subtle that there are immense potential and possibility for healing. Now, as you breathe in, give a light push with the forearms, hands to come back to Sukhasana. Good. And then as you breathe out, bring your knees together, uncross the ankles, right? And then wrap the arms around your knees or your shins, holding opposite wrists or elbows. And then as you exhale, see if you can draw your shoulder blades down the back and really sit down into the sitting bones. Staying here with the rise of the sternum, right? Not from the puffing of the chest, but from the sacrum moving into the body. And then take the arms out by the sides of the legs. Good. All right, you'll start to feel some deep groin engagement, right? So the roots of your legs will start to engage. And we're just going to stay here and feel that inward connection of the sacrum towards the thighs without the help of our arms. So more subtle strength building. Instead of doing lots of repetitions, focusing on breath. Good. With your next exhalation, relax the hands down, relax the legs forward, create some space along the fronts of the hip flexors, and then see if you can come to a lying down position on your back. So a lot of times when the back is harmed or hurt, right? It's very hard to lie down straight with the legs, so you can bend the knees, but keep the feet further away from you. And that will allow for space, yet support. Good. Now, as you inhale, let's take the right arm up overhead. Good. And then keep the left knee bent, full left foot onto the ground. As you breathe in next, take the right leg long and then up to the sky, and then the right arm long up to the sky as well. So both limbs coming up from the joints, one from the hip joint, one from the shoulder joint. Good. Point through the toes. And then as you exhale, the right arm sweeps back behind you And then the right leg comes down, either straight or bent knee and foot on the ground. Good. So continuing as you breathe in, a little bit of length in the right leg, reach it long so you'll feel a lengthening across the back of the pelvis, and then the right arm up, right leg up, and then maybe you can explore every other foot position. So this time maybe the heel presses up and toes press down. And then as you exhale, arm back behind you, bend the knee and step the foot down, or the leg is long on the mat. Good. And please continue your own pace. Now, even though you're lying down, you can still explore a longer exhalation with the drawing up of the pelvic floor and the drawing in of the abdomen as you breathe out. And then relax and breathe in to lift the limbs. Good. One more time. This time we'll stay. Right arm up, right leg up. Good. Your right hand will come to the back of the right leg, anywhere along the back of the right leg. It can be from the upper thigh all the way to holding the big toe, whatever's easily possible. Remember, path of least resistance. And then if there's room, bending at the elbow joint and allowing the leg to come closer towards the body. Again, how can you still feel that gentle breeze in the hip joint as it connects to the lower back? And see what it might feel like to bring the arm or the hand lower than even expected. That means up towards the thigh. Good. And then bend the knee and relax on the exhalation. Take the right arm down by the side of the body and then let the breath go. Good. And then inhale. Let's take the left arm up overhead. Fingers can be together. Exhale here, either lengthening that left leg long or just keeping it on the ground. Your right foot is your supporting foot. And then as you breathe in, reaching the leg up, reaching the arm up on the left side, pointing through the toes first. Good. So even though we're extending through the limbs, you can keep breathing, don't stop breathing as I talk. We're still allowing the root of the arm bone and the root of the leg bone to drop back into the socket, one into the shoulder socket and one into the hip socket. So there's a very clear connection back into the torso. Good. And then exhale, release. And then take your time inhaling, lifting the limbs to 90-degree angle or so, and then exhaling, lowering, either straightening the left leg or bending the knee. So this series of vinyasas helps to create firmness, right? That adhara support around the back. Some postures create space, right? The next time you reach up, stay there. Flexing the toes towards you and just guide your leg towards your head a little bit more, and then take your hand anywhere along the back of the left leg. At the big toe, if again, doesn't cause any strain in your face. On your exhalation, if there's more room as you bend the left elbow to bring the leg towards you, then do so. Good. And then soften, breathe out, and release everything down, left arm by the side of your body. Good. Now you're going to go ahead and reach for your block or your bolster. Mine rolled far away. Place it to the side of you or your blanket, right? Something soft is nice, but if you don't have that, the block will be fine. We'll come into supported Satubandhasana or Dvipadam Pitham, our bridge. So now bring your feet closer towards your hip bones. Feet are parallel. And then as you breathe in, a light lift of your sacrum and slide your bolster, blanket, or block underneath you. If you're suffering a lot of pain today, better you do something with lower height than a block. So maybe just one fold of a blanket. That will be enough for you. Good. Let the breath deepen as you stay here. Arms can be on the body to create a feeling of safety or up overhead. If you feel like you want to access the upper chest and lung tissue, you know, even the smallest movements, what it does is it creates a completely new circuit of prana, circuit of energy in your body. It's really about our bhavana, our feeling, our intention. So I can only get you so far. The rest, you have to create your own reality. You have to create your own feeling, right? With what feeling, what purpose, what intention, what emotions am I also putting into the pose? It's not what you get out of the pose. It's what are you putting into the pose? Good. Now let's start a gentle stretching out of that right foot. Start to drag the right foot away from you on the mat. That will start to help to lengthen the SI joint and the muscles around the SI joint. Some of you might even be able to take the leg completely long, just the heel on the ground. But again, if that creates any moment where the breath suddenly jerks or pauses, you know it's not appropriate for you. We're here for healing. Not pushing past capacity. And then closing the eyes if the eyes are open, and just see in your mind's eye the shape that you're making. On the ground, in your room, even on planet Earth, in this universe, you are a unique being creating an energetic pathway in your body. And that ripple effect is moving into the atmosphere around you. Perhaps even affecting a flower blooming or the earth turning. We don't know. So with what emotion am I in this pose? Is it to invoke the deep care and love for myself and therefore all beings? Good. Now as you breathe in, start to bend the right knee deeper and then slide the foot back towards your support. And as you breathe out, the left foot will slide forward away from you, right? It can just be a few millimeters to a full stretch of the leg with the heel on the ground and the toes pointing up. Good. Now gently just move the head side to side so that you feel that the upper rim of the shoulders is relaxed. And then let that relaxation cascade down to the heart, chest, lower back, pelvis. Very good. As you breathe out, we can even repeat the mantra Om outwardly or inwardly to ourselves or into the atmosphere. And then as you breathe in, use your right foot to help the left knee to bend and left foot to come back onto the ground. And as you breathe out, take the hands by the sides of the body. If you're able to hold whatever support you're on, you can hold it, or arms come down onto the ground. Good. Now let's take the feet apart and then drop the knees in towards one another, right? And start to deepen the front base of the pelvis. So already you might feel like you're tightening the inner groin muscles, or at least I am. So I'm just assuming whatever I'm feeling is what some of you may be feeling, a reaction point against letting the pelvic bowl deepen into your support and then further deepen into the ground. Good. And then gently bring the feet closer towards one another, knees slightly apart. Take the hands down onto the ground if they're not already there. So you have full support of your forearms on the ground. Before you inhale, just tuck the tail into the body, the tailbone into the body. You're not actually lifting up totally off of your support. And then as you exhale, release the tailbone back down towards the ground or towards the support. And then as you exhale, right, pelvic tilt, that means the bottom of the pelvis tilts into the body. So you might feel a little bit of contraction in your gluteal muscles. That's your butt. And then relax as you breathe in. So if you were just gonna just quickly lift up off of the bolster, we'll continue that movement for a few rounds. It might, again, create a little bit too much of a jarring sensation on the lower back. Might not be ready for that after all the longer holds. So we just prepare. Good. Now, the next time you draw the tailbone in and tuck it in into the body, continue that movement to gently lift the sacrum up off of your support. Slide the support off to the side and then release the sacrum to the ground. As you release to the ground, immediately turn to one side and come into a fetal position, right? You can use your same little pillow or support underneath your head, right? So hike the knees up nice and high and make sure you have that rounding now of the lower back. Good. With your next breath in, we're gently going to come up. And then roll over onto all fours. And then from all fours, exhale back, tuck the toes, and then see if it's possible to press the hands into the ground and lift the knees into Adho Mukha Svanasana. If that feels way too intense, then drop the knees and come into child's pose or Vajrasana, sitting on the heels. We'll be here 3 breaths. 3 breaths now to focus on the strength of the legs. Even if you're having the legs folded in Balasana, feeling the strength of the legs as they cascade on top of one another, or the strength of the legs as they press backwards. So press your thigh bones back towards the back of the room. If you're in Adho Mukha Svanasana, same with the arm bones. And then let the spine be free between the shoulders and the two hips. Good. One more breath. Excellent. And then exhale, come down onto your knees, or come up onto your knees, and then go ahead and sit into Vajrasana on your heels. We'll do a few now dynamic movements, right? Little few vinyasas in Balasana, a few movements in Balasana. So as you inhale, let's take the arms out and up. We're not going to be seated on the heels for long. Interlace the fingers, press up, or just reach the arms up towards the sky. And then as you exhale, gently fold over the thighs. As you inhale, root the sitting bones down to rise up. If there's space, arc the upper back. Fingers don't have to be interlaced. And then as you exhale, gently rock forward. Spine loves a rocking sensation. Again, breathing in, 5-second inhale, rising up. And breathing out, rocking forward. Good. As you breathe in, now rising up. This time we'll change the hand position. As you exhale, let's take the arms out to the sides in a T shape, palms facing forward. And then fold down towards the ground. As you inhale, rise up. Option for a slight arcing of the upper back, back bend. And then as you breathe out, fold. Head does not have to touch the ground. And inhale to rise. One more round. And slowly lower. This time we'll stay forward folding. If the head does not touch the ground, use your block onto your head or your bolster as the two arms extend out to the sides. And then gently start to walk your fingers further out to the right and to the left so that you really open up the space between the two scapula. Good. And just like the scapula are opening up, that's your shoulder blades, shoulder wings. See if the right back crest of your pelvis and the left back crest of your pelvis can also kind of wrap down towards the outer thighs, down towards the ground, so that there's a lot of space around that diamond shape of the sacral bone at the base of your spine. Now, if you don't know your spinal anatomy, I really recommend you just look it up and see what it looks like. And then that imagination can really help you feel what's going on in the practice, especially along the spine, not all the other bones, but especially the spinal bones. Good. Now, as you breathe in, gently rise up. Take the arms with you, open the arms wide, shoulder wings. And then as you breathe out, let's come back onto all fours and do one last Adho Mukha Svanasana or plank position, anything to lengthen the legs, right? So keep long length along the backs of the knees and backs of the ankles, right? Whichever feels best for you. 3 breaths. Even in plank pose doesn't mean the knees have to be up, but just feeling that length across the back spine. And then we come back, if you've lost it, to that longer exhalation with the base support of Mula Bandha, base support of the lower abdominal organs coming in and hugging the back spine on the exhalations. Good. And then on that third exhalation or so, you'll gently start to make your way down and onto your seat. A seat with a back support is so nice. It's like you don't have to make all of those efforts to keep the spine upright. You just sit against something and it's already super joyful because you're not trying so hard. Let's bring the dominant hand into Mrigi Mudra, folding down the peace fingers towards the palm. Other 3 fingers are extended. Place that hand down. We'll do our combination practice of Ujjayi and alternate nostril breathing. Anuloma Ujjayi. So the focus here is on longer exhalations through one nostril or the other. And the inhalations will be through both nostrils, focusing at the sound of the breath in Ujjayi. So already the breath is long on the exhalations. So we can train our breath now to 4 on the inhale, 8 on the exhale. Taking a breath in and a long breath out. Start to tone the throat as the breath leaves the body, and then breathe in Ujjayi for 4 seconds. 2, 3, 4. Lightly hold the breath as the hand comes towards the face. 4. Close the left nostril. Exhale right for 8. All of the mind in the right nostril now, relaxing the throat. 6, 7, 8. Open both nostrils. Inhale Ujjayi. Feeling the sensations at the throat and soft palate. Hold lightly. 1, 2, 3, 4. Close the right. Exhale left. 8 seconds. 6, 7, 8. Open both nostrils. Inhale Ujjayi. 3, 4. Lightly hold at the soft palate, not at the shoulders or chest. 3, 4. Close the left. Exhale right. Quiet stream out the right nostril. If you want to bypass the holds, you can. 6, 7, 8. Open both nostrils. Inhale Ujjayi. Lightly hold or just continue to the left side. I'll let you choose now. Close the right. Exhale left. 7, 8. Inhale Ujjayi. Good. And then just continue on your own. You'll exhale right nostril next. Inhale Ujjayi. Exhale left nostril. And find a natural way for the prana to move, the natural ratio that feels best for you. Of course, a ratio that's still focusing on extension of exhalation. Always inhaling Ujjayi and then breathing out through one nostril, inhaling Ujjayi and breathing out through the opposite nostril. We can even let go of the count now and move more with the intuition. And as you do that, start to consider what bhavana, what feeling am I placing alongside the pranayama? What am I infusing into my pranayama? Is it very mechanical? Like, okay, something I do to probably make me feel better, just counting like a robot? Or is it something that I can infuse something into this? I can infuse joy. I can infuse peace. I can infuse healing. So we're not being extractive with our practice, but that there's a communion of effort. I give to the practice and the practice gives to me. And whatever you infuse will come back to you manyfold. That is what you're placing your prana on. And your prana infuses that feeling with more depth and clarity. Good. Next time you breathe out, Ujjayi will be your last. Take your time to get there. And whenever you have reached that point, relax the hand down and let the breath be totally natural. Start to feel the slow ripple effects of the pranayama through your whole system. It starts in the head and face region, and then it begins to very slowly, like honey, move down through the limbs, down through the spine, down through the legs and feet. And as you sit, stay with the emotion or bhavana of your choosing. We can all create these states of experience. We all know what sensations happiness is. We all know what sensations peace is. So from the depths of your heart, bring forth the feeling. And let that permeate through the whole body. Endless waves and waves of joy, of beauty, of bliss, of healing. And alongside that sits the observer. Understanding that no feeling is permanent. Watching them rise and fall, rise and fall. And slowly take a nice deeper breath into your whole body. And a long breath out. Emptying, emptying, emptying completely. And then again, 2 more times. Our spine is what receives light. Prana in the form of light, prana in the form of energy. Specifically our vagus nerve that by no coincidence intersects into these lower sacral vertebrae, lower back vertebrae, and deep into the gut region. Drawing the energy down the spine into the abdomen, into the lower back as you breathe in, and relaxing as you breathe out. With your next breath in, palms together, Anjali Mudra. A moment of thankfulness. Om. Sarve bhavantu sukhinah. Sarve santu niramaya. Sarve bhadrani pashyantu. Ma kaschit dukkha bhag bhavet. Om Shanti 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 Hari Om Tat Sat. As you exhale, surrendering yourself to Mother Earth. Inhaling to rise. Hands towards the face. And take your time to slowly bring the hands away from the face. As you open the eyes, you open first into the hands. And then lift the gaze into the room. Give yourself a smile. Namaste. Thank you. Your back thanks you. Your spine thanks you. I thank you.